Yo, yo. How is everybody? Oh. Gotta move my... I did everything else but move my mic. Sometimes I don't know what's more important, the mic or the glass of wine. Hello, people out there in live broadcast world. How's everybody doing? I'm thinking of you. People. It's wine o'clock, and it's going to be wine o'clock for the next 60 minutes. We are going to have a fun time tonight. I've talked to a few people today, and people are going through some tough stuff. So we're going to have a fun time, right? Because we need to have fun. I'm Dave England. I bring the Dave, you bring the wine, or whatever you're drinking. I don't know what you're drinking tonight. Just type it in there. Type in what you're drinking. If you're not drinking anything, that's okay. Just say, I'm not drinking a thing. Who do we have tonight? Bob Salvas, the guest, is saying, hey. Bill Palmentier. See, Bob, you have two fans. And Aaron, this better be good. It's my hot tub time. Aaron, you have a hot tub. Nice. Don't invite me over. Definitely do not invite me over. I want no part of that. Frivolity. Just sit in the hot tub and watch. Hey, let me turn this wine o'clock off because we all know it's wine o'clock, right? Got to turn that baby off. Yeah, it's been an interesting day for me. It is a Tuesday, and I've got a big 5-hour seminar tomorrow, so I'm going to have to find a lot of words, lots of words, many words to fill a 5-hour seminar, webinar. Do we even call them seminars anymore? I don't even know. Webinars, helping local businesses out. And it's with RIBA, Rhode Island Business Association. Is that what it is? Builders, Rhode Island Builders Association. So there's about, 20 or 30 of them showing up on a Zoom call. 5 hours. It's going to be good. We'll take a few breaks. Hey, type in where you're coming from. It's good to know where you're coming from. Bill Parmentier, Yangling, black and tan on this end. Nice. I haven't had a beer in a long time. Aaron's having not frivolous. Good for my BP. There you go. I don't know what BP is. I'm too old. I don't understand these acronyms. I should. Once again, a buttery Chardonnay, but I think I have one more glass left. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, I'm going to have to introduce a new wine. Folks, we have a good night tonight. I have the interactive Did You Know? And you guys were really funny. You were busting my chops last night with stupid answers. And I kind of liked it. I will admit, I kind of liked it. Sal Sarko is drinking milk of magnesia. Yeah, there we go. That's how we get the ticker going. Milk of magnesia. Hot tub is good for my blood pressure, says Aaron Usher. I don't know why I say says Aaron. I mean, you could see what it is. Aaron, your profile pic right there is like sleepy. Okay, ready? Are we all ready for this? Leave a comment. Bust my chops. Do whatever you want. It's your show as much as it's mine. The next segment is interactive. Are we ready? Are we ready to play? What's it called? Did you know? All right. Did you know? 13 people die every year from vending machines. Did you know? Let me move this out of the way. Did you know 2 browsers are fighting for space on my computer? Did you know rain contains vitamin B12? Rain contains vitamin B12. So when it's raining out, get out there. You need some vitamin B12. Did you know your brain uses 25% of all the oxygen you use? Did you know? A flea can jump 350 times its body length. Did you know that? That's a lot of feet. Cucumbers are 96% water. It's good for you. Here is the interactive question, people. Get ready. Get ready. A full moon is how many times brighter than a half moon? And don't say double, because clearly that's not it. A full moon is how many times brighter than a half moon? Type in moon dash and the number that you think it is. Because a honeybee's top speed is 15 miles per hour. Did you know that? A honeybee, 15 miles per hour. They're not that fast. Flies always launch backwards for a quick getaway. So in the middle of July, when there's a fly, you get the swatter, you're trying to kill it, don't go at its head. Bring the swatter to the back, because that's how they take off. Yes, you can thank me. Thank me now, thank me later. Horses have 18 more bones than you and I. Did you know? Did you also know that horses sleep standing up? Did you know? Did you know that jellyfish are 95% water? Did you know that? Here's the next interactive question. Every day, what percent of the U.S. eats McDonald's? Every day, what percent of Americans eat McDonald's? Just type in McDonald's percentage. Ready for another interactive? A snail can sleep for how many years? Snail dash years. Hopefully you won't screw it up this time. A snail can sleep for how many years? Crocodiles are colorblind. Did you know that? Crocodiles are colorblind. Hippopotamuses are born underwater. Did you know that? That I did not know that. I did not know that. All right, we got some guesses here. We got some guesses. And it looks like that ends the segment of Did You Know? Let's try to figure this thing out. Ready? Let's put them up on the board. Let's put them up on the board. Better be good. Just my hot dog tires. Black and frivolous. Neat. Sal says neat. Okay, so Rick. So the first one is a full moon is how many times brighter than a half moon? Rick says 4 times. That is incorrect. Bill says 10. That is incorrect, but very close. Aaron, it depends on how much of a tan is on that full moon. I don't know how to respond to that. Sal says a moon is 357.7. No. Okay, is that it? Is that all you did? No one else is guessing. Bill Parmentier is very close. Very close, but a full moon is 9 times brighter than a half moon. A full moon is 9 times brighter. What's the next question? Next interactive. Every day, what percent of the U.S. eats McDonald's? You can still vote, You can still vote. Good tip for the flies. Yeah, they take off backwards for a quick getaway. So if they know you're about to hit them, get behind them. Get behind me. We are streaming you live. Goodwill, good seeing you, my friend. Hey, play Did You Know? It's a good fun. It's a lot of fun. You'll never get that 5 minutes back. Jellyfish, the other 4% is cucumber. No, that wasn't the question I was asking. Every day, what percentage of Americans eat McDonald's? Bill Palmentier, 15%. Greenwood, 7%. Guess what? Rick is right. 7%. 7% of Americans every day eat McDonald's. That's high, man. That is really high. Okay, ready for the last one? The last one. A snail can sleep for how many years? Did anyone? No one voted. Just say anything. Just say a year. I sound like Alex Trebek on SNL. Just say a word. Just say something. A snail can sleep, and this is consecutively. This isn't like in their whole lifetime. They can just go to sleep for this amount of time, and then they wake up. This is shocking. This is shocking. How many? Anybody? Any takers? I'll have my buttery Chardonnay while you guys are locking in your votes. Greenwood says a snail, 3 years. Palmentier, 3 years. Peggy says 5 years. That's a long time. Depends on how many times UPS comes and rings the doorbell. Snail. No. Aaron Usher, how long can a snail sleep for? 3.14. No. Good try, Aaron, but no, it's not correct. All right, you ready? I'll wait one more second for someone else. Come on. A snail can sleep for how many years? At the most. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The answer is 3 years. It goes to Bill Palmentier's the winner, and Rick Greenwood. I'm going to drink a buttery Chardonnay for you guys. Cool. Peg, you were close. 5 years. Can you imagine a snail can just decide to go to sleep and will not wake up till 3 years from now? That is crazy. Who wants to sleep through this whole thing we're going through? That would be great. We should all be snails. All right, well, that was Did You Know? That was fun. I had fun. Next, prizes. Yeah, you got a prize. Rick, you get a prize. I just can't tell you what it is because we got to keep our distance, but you get a prize. Everyone wins. Everyone wins. There are no losers. Today, folks, it's National Limerick Day. And being Irish, it's kind of fun. Today is National Limerick Day. And I was going to, in honor of that, I was going to change the tint so I'm a bit green. Can I do that? Can I do the green thing because it's kind of Irish? I'll do that. I'll go back. Do not adjust your Facebook. Do not adjust your Facebook. McDonald's coupon. Yeah. No, that'll make it 8% of Americans. National Limerick Day, observed annually on May 12th. Okay? Check this out. May 12th, the National Limerick Day celebrates the birthday of English artist and illustrator, author, and poet Edward Lear. I think I have a picture of him. There he is. He's right there. Edward Lear, okay? Lear is known for his literary nonsense and poetry, prose, and limericks. The day also celebrates the Limerick poem. Limerick poems were popularized by Edward Lear's book, The Book of Nonsense. I actually took that out at the library once. It's got really crazy-looking sketch drawings. It's bizarre. It's like Dr. Seuss on drugs. Edward Lear drawings are freaky and weird, but they're kind of like Seuss. They're kind of like Seuss. So the day celebrates the Limerick poem and the Book of Nonsense he wrote. He wrote it in 1846. Got some great images in there. A limerick is a very short, humorous nonsense poem. Keep this in mind. A limerick, there are 5 lines in a limerick. Very important. This guy, he invented that. Invented the 5-line poem. The first 2 lines rhyme with the 5th line, right? And the 3rd and 4th lines rhyme together. The limerick also has a particular rhythm, which is officially described as anapestic trimeter. Trimeter meaning 3, right? So, which makes sense. It's kind of like a galloping of a horse. It's the once was a da 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 da, a 1, a 2, a ba ba da da, bum ba da ba da ba. It's all in like a 1, 2, and a 3. A 1, 2, 3. So that's kind of interesting, huh? If you're into rhythm, anapestic trimeter. I did not know that. I'm going to be flat honest with you. I am not that smart. I had to look it up. But here's one of his limericks, which I think is cool. And everyone's heard this. This is called "There Once Was a Young Lady." We've all heard this. There was a young lady whose chin resembled the point of a pin. So she had it made sharp and purchased a harp and played several tunes with her chin. That's a limerick. There you go. There's my take on the anapestic trimeter. There was a young lady whose chin resembled the point of a pin, so she had it made sharp and purchased a harp and played several tunes with her chin. All right, that's it. I'm going to go back to not being green. Shamrock Shake, go back to warm color. Let me get rid of Edward Lear. Think about that today. There's only a couple hours left in the day, but think about limericks. Think about your granddaddy and your grandpappy and your grandma. If you're Irish or English, lift a glass to Edward Lear. Limericks. I thought he was Irish, though. I shouldn't have gone green. That was weird going green. The guy's English. Anyway, I digress. Hey, tomorrow night my guest is recording artist and multi-instrumentalist Bob Russo. Plays acoustic guitar, keyboards, everything. And we're going to listen to some of his songs. We're going to interview him tomorrow night. It's a big musical night this week. Thursday night, all the way from Arizona, these guys are heavy rock. Seriously. They shot me an email. They're like, I heard about your show. Can I be on your show? It was really, really cool that they heard about me. They're called the Headsmen. So it's going to be 2 nights of music. And I looked it up. Headsman, that was an occupation. That was the guy that, with the axe, and he chopped your head off if you were a criminal. He had the black robe over. They were called the Headsmen. And what they did is there wasn't a lot of work. They would get paid per head, per killing, but they didn't kill everybody every day. It was, I don't know, maybe once a month. They couldn't live on that. So what they did is they became musicians. And they traded in their axes for axes. Guitars. So a lot of headsmen became musicians. Interesting. I did look that up. And that's where this band from Arizona got their name from, the Headsmen. They're heavy. They're not metal, but they're hard rock. They're really cool. Looking forward to them. But tonight, you're in for a treat. You guys are in for a treat. With me is professional development manager Bob Salvas, a good old friend. Bob runs training seminars and webinars for small businesses. He's a SCORE counselor, all right? He runs the popular Fourth Monday Networking in Massachusetts. And he's a Rhode Island network legend. Check this out. Bob Salvas.
Hey, Dave.
Bob Salvas is in the house. That's a pretty.
I just left when I talked to you.
That's a pretty impressive list. Like 33 years of helping businesses and 10 years of marketing, and you're like Mr. Seminar. I've gone to so many of your events. That's how do you top that?
Retire? I don't know.
You just retire. And you keep going strong. That's really good. Good for you. Let me just jump into this. I got my first question. You're the professional development manager at Reba. So explain what that is, the development professional development manager, and explain what REBA is. Could you tell us about what that is and what you do there?
Yeah. Last fall, I had a conversation with John Antonio and Chuck. You also know Chuck from networking. And REBA is the Rhode Island Builders Association. So the Builders Association was really looking to ramp up the benefits to their members, really help out the industry. There's a lot of stuff happening in the residential construction industry. A lot of the people who are like the general contractors that you and I have known, our entire lives, they're starting to kind of age out of the system.
Yep.
And it used to be many years ago that a general contractor would always be kind of replaced by his son. It was like a family business. So they would come up and take over the business. But back in '08, of course, we had that disaster with the real estate. And plus the millennials have their own way of thinking. And a lot of the sons and daughters of these contractors wanted to do their own thing. So we're going to be faced with a little bit of a vacuum that's going to happen as these people start to age out of the system.
Yep.
So REBA reached out to me based on what I had done for SCORE and said, we really need something similar here at the Rhode Island Builders Association as you have already successfully built for SCORE. So we use that kind of model. We got a lot of support from the state of Rhode Island. We're going to get more support from them and allowing us to offer a lot of trainings at no cost for those people who might be interested. So they're doing some good work. I've always wanted to help the small business person, and I'm still doing that. I'm just doing a lot of that work right now in this specific industry.
So these are contractors who show up at the event and they just sit down and grab a pencil and paper. Well, not now because they're all doing Zoom calls?
Yeah, we're all on Zoom now. We used to be live, and we had to make that adjustment in March like so many other people did. But it's contractors, but it's not just contractors, Dave. It's people who are carpenters and handymen and people who flip real estate. These are all people who have a contractor's registration so that they can pull a permit to get something done in a house.
Yep.
So it's kind of it's not your just, in my mind, they would all look alike, right? When I walked in the room, they would all have a hammer belt,
Yeah. Hey, Bob,
but
I it was just brought to my attention that I had the wrong name from Mike Verrett last night. And I'm like, why are people talking about Mike? I just changed your name.
Mike.
You're not Mike Verrett anymore. What's the web address you want to send me people to?
ribuilders.org. Builders with an S.org.
ribuilders.org?
Yes.
Good thing I can change that on the fly, right? Oh my
Good thing
gosh.
you know technology better than me.
Jeez. Sorry about that. Let me just move this over. Yeah. Let me get that in there. You're right. Is that right to the edge? Boom. Line it up. All right. Sorry. First time I ever did that. That was crazy. Bob Salvas, ribuilders.org. Sorry.
Yep.
Mike Verrett just got a ton of work from last night. So these people are coming on like roofers and siders and window guys and flooring and general contract, new construction, and they're just learning how to what? Market themselves?
Well, they're learning a wide variety of skills, so we're trying to offer them a little bit of everything. So, you may be an expert at finished carpentry, but you want to know how to build a deck. Maybe you've never built a deck before, so we'll have a deck building class. Or you want to strike out and start your own business. We'll have a business startup class. Or you have your own business. You want to get better at accounting or marketing. We'll have those kind of classes. So it's not just making a better builder, but also building a better business.
Right. So someone who's been in the business for like 20, 30 years, they can show up at this class.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. Most of the people are the newer people in the industry who feel like they're a little bit more maybe open-minded to learning things. Mm-hmm. Some of the people who've been around a really long time aren't as open to learning new things as some of the new guys are.
Yeah.
you can see that. So some of these people, I can't even believe they're still climbing on roofs. They're like 70 years old. It's unbelievable.
Well, I know some people that were flooring guys, and they're like, I got to retire. I can't be laying tile in bathrooms anymore. My knees are dying. Like they never thought that through.
Right,
well, maybe
right.
they did, but they're 20 years old. They got many, many years, and now they're 55, which is not very old, and they're like dying. Their knees are killing them.
Yeah. It definitely takes a toll, and that's the other reason why there's going to be a need for a lot more of these younger contractors. So it all kind of, it's very interesting to me, Dave, because it's almost like a perfect storm now. I had a person call me today, a woman who said, hey, I'm interested in maybe changing careers because I worked in this industry, which because of the COVID virus is not really that good of an industry, and I want to change my career, and I'm interested in becoming a contractor. So I start having this conversation with her, and I realized the questions she's asking me are the exact thing that we're doing right now, which is to build out an educational platform that is absolutely free. So this person who has a strong desire, although she's not 100% sure, she really wants to try it. Well, she doesn't have to spend $1 million on tuition to jump into this. I can set her up to go to all these free classes, and she can now. And she said she had daycare problems, so she was delighted to hear that it was available by Zoom. So now she has the possibility to learn a lot about this industry and maybe make a decision whether or not she wants to go there.
Yep. I mean, you can't lose. You just show up. You just get the link, password. You're in learning.
Yeah. So it's a really good time to do it, especially in light of this this crisis that we're in.
So Rick Greenwood, he's a buddy of mine in 29 Palms, California. Must be hot down there. He said, old dogs, new tricks. Are you seeing older contractors contacting you saying, hey, how do I get in these classes? Or is it really like 90% young guys that are just doing this?
Yeah, it's 90%. I wouldn't necessarily say they're all young, but I would say 90% are the new guys, not the guys that have been in the industry for 20 years, 30 years. So the guys who are just coming in, who are hungry to learn, and now it used to be that they had to pay all this money, and in some cases they had to travel. I was talking to one of our instructors. He couldn't believe how the programs that we have. He said there are people who travel all across the country to go to different seminars by different instructors, and they pay money and they travel to be able to do this. So these national conferences and such. And he said, you don't have to do any of that, and it doesn't cost you anything. He said, it's amazing what you're doing. And I do have to, give a lot of credit to the state of Rhode Island, who is really working with us hand in hand. And now with all the unemployment that we have, they're going to step up more so we can get more people through this system and educated. And if they want to become a contractor, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people.
What about Massachusetts, Connecticut? Are they doing the same thing, or is it Rhode Island kind of leading the way in that way?
No. From what I understand, Rhode Island is in a very unique position. We actually have some people who are coming from Connecticut and Massachusetts to take our classes.
Really?
So, and as long as they have a registration, if they're a registered contractor in Rhode Island, it doesn't matter if they live in Connecticut or Mass, they can still take the classes.
So, guys, ask a question. If you got any questions, ask away. It's going to show up on the screen like this one from Aaron Usher. I think that's how it's pronounced. Usher? What percent are women? That's a good question, huh, Bob?
Great question. That's a great question, Aaron. Just a second ago, I had that conversation about speaking to a woman on the phone today. And I would say probably, 10 to 20% and growing. I definitely see more and more women coming into this industry. And it's not just, the good old boys network anymore. And these people are coming in. In fact, there's an entire group, like I don't know what you call them, just a subgroup of people for the women, their own like networking. they have a group of women that get together who are in this industry who help each other. So similar to other types of networking and masterminding kind of groups, they're out there and they see the value in this industry and the growth potential, I think.
That's cool. Bill is asking, what's the Zoom thing you speak of? And I happen to know Bill Parmentier is your Zoom expert. He actually is helping all these contractors figure out how to get on Zoom, right?
You're absolutely right. And I would be remiss if I did not give Bill kudos. So here's what happened. When we were doing all these great seminars, we started this program in January, Dave. And so January, February, we're killing it. We got people lining up with, sometimes we had to turn them away because the room was so full of people.
Really? That's
very
awesome.
successful. Very successful. And then, of course, what happens? The bottom falls out. This whole COVID thing happens. Now we can't have 5 people in the room, never mind 50.
Yeah.
So what do? So John Marcantonio, who is the director of REBA, he says, we got to figure out a way to get this on, virtual. And so I had been on a couple of Zoom calls, but I had been, I'd been the guy that says, what button do I push again? This one? And just participated and listened. I didn't know anything about setting it up. So immediately I call my friend Bill Parmentier and say,
Cue Bill Parmentier.
I need help.
That's cool.
So I'll drink to Bill Parmentier.
Drink to Bill Parmentier because he's asking about the Zoom. He's being sarcastic. But who's more sarcastic? Sal. Sal answers him about the Zoom thing. He says, Bill, it's a new kind of colon cleanse. You're going to love it. Zoom colon cleanse.
I gotta say, Dave, I miss hanging out with you guys. Holy cow.
We got to grab a whiskey, grab a fire pit somewhere, anywhere. I'm a few blocks from the beach. We should just go down there. We should meet. Another question. How did you end up working for REBA, Rhode Island Builders Association? How'd you get that gig? We've talked, but I don't even know this answer.
Well, it goes back to the work that I've done for SCORE for almost 10 years. So in case anybody's on the line that doesn't know what SCORE is a national organization of volunteers that work kind of under the umbrella of the SBA. And I work for the Rhode Island chapter of SCORE. And so my job for SCORE is to set up all these seminars and workshops. Mm-hmm. So I've worked on that for years, and I've established some really good stuff. And it got noticed by the people at Rhode Island Builders Association. And when they were trying to set up some similar training programs, they reached out to me and said, hey, would you be interested in, kind of helping us get this off the ground? So it started out with helping them get it off the ground, and then maybe part-time, and now it's getting a lot more closer to full-time. But that's just because it's so successful. And so it really was my work at SCORE that got me noticed by the folks at REBA.
Good for you, man. You're the man. You really dumb a lot of things down, like with marketing. I mean, I've listened to you, and you and I, we're good old friends. But I still learn stuff from you, but you're really passionate. And I look around the room, and I've been in groups of like 50 people or more, and they're all like writing things down feverishly. I mean, you just really make marketing really simple for people. It's not this strange mystery. It's you got to know marketing. You got to know the basics of it, or you're never going to find that client. And you do a really good job.
Thanks, but I think it's not just marketing, Dave. I think it's teaching anything. You really have to make it engaging and simple, in a way that people can absorb what you're saying. And a lot of stories, a lot of examples, a lot of breaking it down to its simplest parts. Mm-hmm. And that's why I enjoy doing that. And I've done that for quite a while now.
Bill Parmentier says, don't forget the cigars when we grab a fire pit somewhere.
I'm so with you, Bill.
Got to bring a cigar. Aaron Usher, is SCORE an acronym? No, I know Aaron knows you.
Yeah, it's an acronym. SCORE was started in the 1960s, and it was originally the Service Corps of Retired Executives. We don't really use that whole expression anymore because
Yeah.
probably half or more of the SCORE volunteers are active, in business as well. So they're not completely retired.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't use the big term. But good question, Aaron.
Yeah. And I'm not retired, and I'm actually speaking tomorrow. So
That's right.
I'm actually really excited. 5 hours, though, dude. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
good.
gonna be- that's
I'm
gonna
not
be a
good
big
in front of the
class.
camera.
Yeah, you don't do it that often.
I have a face for radio, as they say. Bill, Service Corps of Retired Executives.
Right.
That's what it is.
got
Yeah. How do you see the current health situation as affecting that industry?
As affecting the building industry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and we've been asking it a lot. I, you know, you can never call this a good thing, but the timing of the COVID virus didn't impact the construction industry as much as it impacted other industries. And here's the reason why. Because if you think about it, who is going to do when are you going to have the outside of your house done, Dave?
Once every 10,
Have that in
15
the middle of
years,
winter when
maybe?
it's snowing out. But yeah, but the time of year you're not going to have it done in the middle of December.
Right. Right.
You get me? So if you say, oh, I need a new roof, I need new siding. Well, I'm not going to do that in December, January, February. I'm going to wait till the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So people already had a lot of outdoor work that was in their schedule, and that's not so bad because if you're the homeowner, I don't have to come into your house. Maybe you can be safe and secure in your home and not worry about the transference of the virus,
Mm-hmm.
and you can I can do the work on the outside of the house.
Right.
So a lot of that work still happened. There were some jobs that got canceled, but a lot of that work still happened. So I think that kind of timing maybe served the industry a little bit and made it less worse than it could have been.
Well, that's why I think contractors are booming. I mean, this is like a booming business right now, big industry, because people can't go on vacations.
Right.
So that $5,000, $6,000, whatever they were going to spend on their vacation, they're like, honey, let's put the deck on,
Yeah, right.
Let's
And-
do the.
And another thing, Bill, is with the economic situation that's going to come, that's happening already. A lot of people may not want to buy a new house. They may not be able to buy a new house. So if you don't buy a new house, what do? Well, you say, okay, take the money that I have, and I'm going to put an addition on this one.
Yeah.
So I think the remodeling business is going to be in a really good place, in the coming months.
I would say anything outside, like you said, roofers,
Yeah.
windows, siding, decks.
Yep.
How about like landscape architects? Probably the same thing.
Yeah, we have some in Reba. A lot of the guys who do like the paving, the pavers.
Yep.
Those kind of guys. We have some of those for members. We have a wide variety of in our membership. You'd be surprised. I know I was.
Yeah. So you're working with SCORE. Let's talk about SCORE a little bit. I know it's just an acronym, but I've spoken at a few SCORE events, and it's great. I mean, you get a lot of entrepreneurs. Tell me more about it. What do you love about SCORE?
Well, I think I originally was introduced to SCORE by David Lucier and David Nash many years ago. And both of those gentlemen. I have a greater amount of respect for them, and they gave me some really solid business advice. Helped me along the way when I started my own business.
Yep.
And after years of kind of listening to them give me this advice, they both kind of told me, they said, "Hey, it's time for you to start giving the advice." So about 10 years ago, they approached me and they said, "Why don't you come and join us and help out with SCORE?" So I did some, worked with some of their clients, and then I found out that they had a need for somebody to coordinate the the seminars for them. Here's a funny story. I wanted to, you know me, I love to give seminars, right? So the person who was in charge of the seminars when I got into SCORE used to call me up and say, "Hey, can you do it on this date?" I said, "Oh crap, no, I can't," right? But I really wanted to, but I couldn't, right? How about this date? Oh, no, I couldn't do that one either. So this would go on and on and on. I got so frustrated that the next year they were looking for a volunteer to become the seminar scheduler, and I raised my hand. I said, "It's the only way I'm going to get to do seminars so I can schedule myself."
There you go.
So it all worked out. And then, of course, that got me to give a lot more seminars, but it also started me building out, this seminar culture at Rhode Island SCORE, which was eventually noticed by the people at REBA. And, I just feel good that we're helping a lot of different people.
There you go. Bill says, so he's running the Zoom. He's kind of running the technical end of it. And I'm speaking for 5 hours. He says, "We won't let you talk 5 hours. I can always mute you." Roan Midler, "I have a face for Braille." Was there a secret ceremony involving a pigeon or goat to join SCORE?
I can't talk about that.
Will not answer. Will not answer. Scratch that. What's your favorite seminar to give? That's a question. Is there a particular topic?
I think the...
Outside of me. I mean, don't talk about me. Really, please don't.
Well, probably the seminar topic that I've spoke most about is direct mail, because I actually started giving seminars when I worked for the United States Postal Service way back in my early adulthood, and they needed somebody to teach the business people about direct mail. And I was willing to do it. And that's how I kind of started this whole seminar thing. I talked for years when I worked at the post office about direct mail. I even got to the point where I went to a couple of national conferences to talk about direct mail. Mm-hmm. So it was probably the one I've done the most. The only problem with speaking about it, so many times, is I got a little tired of it. So I haven't done it as much in the last few years, and there hasn't really been the same level of demand. But I do like speaking about things like word of mouth marketing, because I just think that'll never go away. Direct mail will have its ebbs and flows, but word of mouth is king, and it's probably even more important now with the advent of, social media and all the things that, and that's why we have such great conversations. So I can't wait till tomorrow when we do 5 hours.
It's going to be great. I mean, you had a great transition from, let me turn this volume down, from working at the post office to direct mail, and then would send out cards and all of that, because everyone's getting inundated with emails, and then all of a sudden you get a piece in the mail that's a physical, as long as it doesn't look like the old crap that everyone gets and they just throw in the garbage, as long as it's very thought-provoking, it's rare to get a really good direct mail piece. I remember getting some that had like a penny, taped to it, like penny for your thoughts. Can you fill out this survey? I'm like, that's interesting, but it's good stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
do you remember getting the ones for the veterans organizations, and they had like all the different denominations of stamps on them to equal whatever the postage was?
Yes.
So that was a marketing thing, right? And you get this and you think, oh, some crippled veteran is is putting the stamps on this thing.
Yeah. I know, the poor crippled veteran. Steve Mason says, "No one can mute Bob Salvas." Bill says, "But we can mute Dave." Love you too, Bill. Would you say snitching is the same as word of mouth marketing to the police?
Is that Aaron?
No, that's Roan Midler. Use a graphic designer for your direct mail. Yeah.
No kidding.
Who's that
obvious
guy?
one.
Glazer Kennedy.
Oh
Dan
yeah,
Kennedy.
yeah.
I am a huge Dan Kennedy fan of like.
I've read a lot of his stuff
I mean,
too.
he's a
Yeah,
little dated now, but back in the day, I mean, he would scribble out something. That famous thing that he did. He was on the plane and he was running a. Was it him or Glazer? Dan Glazer or Dan Kennedy?
no, it was
They,
Bill Glazer.
Bill Glazer was running a huge, one of the biggest clothing stores,
Yep, haberdashery.
haberdashery, shipping the clothing to you. It was like kind of beginning of the internet. He was on the plane and he's like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to run the sale. So he gets his yellow pad, he writes it out
Yeah.
to his secretary so she can make an ad. And he goes, I forgot to tell you, we're having shirts on sale for 50% off. We're having da-da-da. And he scribbled it and he faxed it on the plane to her before they took off. And she thought that was the ad. So she
Right.
ran the scribbled yellow line paper. It was nasty looking. It was a full page ad. She didn't know. She was new. And he made millions of dollars that weekend. Orders were flying in because it looked like an emergency. Like, I'm so sorry. I just figured this out last minute. So sorry. I'm on a plane to Texas. 50% off sale on shirts. Da, da, da. I got to get this out quick. And it was the coolest thing. It was like amazing.
Yeah,
It was like the $1 million sales letter, they called it. Do you remember that story?
What legal marketing exactly? Yeah, yeah, and I think they actually used that a lot in real estate after that.
Yes.
I think it caught on in the real estate industry. But I saw a lot of realtors use it, especially those who are flipping houses.
Yeah. It's sometimes slick, clean, graphically great design stuff doesn't work. It's just you see too much of it. You need something really, really bad and ugly. So anyway,
You'll appreciate how we're doing some marketing at Reba. So we have a strong internet presence. Do some SEO and Google ads, and we bring in a lot of people. We run the initial class to get the registration. So you want to become a contractor, you have to take this 5-hour class. During that 5-hour class is when I speak to the group and I tell them about the opportunity for additional education and how they can get that for free. So it's really good because the marketing side is bringing the target, because we don't know who wants to be a contractor, right? Could be anybody. It could be your sister wants to be a contractor, right? Somebody just says, hey, I want to be a contractor. How would we find you? What would you do? You would
Right.
probably do some searching online, find something, and then come to our class. And now I've got you in my funnel. And so now I'm communicating with you. I'm the guy that you're communicating with because I'm the guy that's going to give you all this extra education. So
Yeah,
it's a nice, you would appreciate it as a marketing person because it's a nice model. We're bringing in our target market. We have them captive, and then we're telling them about all the benefits.
that's really cool. Bob, it was great having you on tonight.
Hey, I guess you got to spend 5 hours with me tomorrow, dude.
5 hours, a 5-hour tour. I'm ready.
Good. This was like a
Mike
preview.
Barrett was on last night. I don't know if you saw that. He was talking about pretty much going back into the recesses of your mind and dealing with who you are as a person so you could better public speak. And it was really good. So you were Mike Barrett for about 10 minutes tonight, by the way.
I don't know if he'll appreciate that.
Yeah. Steve Mason is saying, what time tomorrow? He wants to join. Can he come?
Okay. I'll send him the link, sure.
All right. What is the
It's 8
link, by the
o'clock,
way?
though.
What is it? Can I put it in here?
8 o'clock. I don't know if it's done or not.
You got to look it up.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you.
You sent it, yeah. So you know what? Put it in the comment, Bob.
Okay.
Put it in the comment so everyone who's been commenting will see it. And check it out. 5 hours with me. You are not going to want to miss that. No, I make it fun. It's a lot of slides. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about alligators and seagulls to start out. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm dead serious. It's the coolest thing what alligators do to attract their prey, their customers, and what seagulls do to attract their customers. try to come and see it. Bob, it's great having you on, man.
Always fun, Dave. Love being with you.
As always, take care, and I will see you early in the morning. I don't know what time.
Yeah, very early.
Very early. All right, take care, buddy.
All right.
Mr. Bob Salvas, networking king. He's like he's the man in Rhode Island. He's been around forever. But like my first networking when I started my business, I knew I had to get out networking. And I was not into going to the Chamber of Commerce. I just felt like everyone's jamming their business cards at you. They're just throwing them at you. And you're like, okay, when am I going to hire a lawyer? When am I going to hire a CPA? And they're just handing business cards out. But then I met Bob Salvas, and he was completely different. He was all about relationships. He was just really genuinely interested in who I was. And I never forgot that. He's the real deal, folks. The real deal. And he asked me to speak for, I don't know if I said this already, but 5 hours? 5 hours tomorrow. All right, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is very, very popular. Very popular. It's Dave Plays with Apps. And I got the wrong camera. How did that happen? There's 2 of me. How did I get that? There's 3 of me. Hold on a second. This is crazy. I need Bill Parmentier. Where's Bill Parmentier? I got to point to the camera so I know which camera to turn off. Unbelievable. Bill, I need you. You got to come to my house every night at 9 o'clock and run this thing. I'm the producer. I'm the host. I'm everything. All right. Well, last night, I got some calls and people were pretty excited about Dave Plays with Apps. Specifically, the app called PhotoFox. Boom, right there. So I'm going to do PhotoFox Part 2. Are you guys ready? PhotoFox Part 2. So let me open this up a little bit. Can I do this? Can I do that? I think I can do that. I'm going to open it up. Yeah, there we go. I can open it like that so you can see the whole page. Let me move my mic over this side. Works better. So I'm going to go back and forth from full view to half screen because that's just how I work. So this little X right here, right there, that's what you click. And it opens up your gallery. You click on a photo and then you have fun. I mean, just grab a glass of wine, have fun. You're going to produce amazing art. It's pretty cool, actually. I like it. But scroll down a little bit. Ooh, play with ready-mades. Do you like ready-mades? Ready-mades. And join the battle is at the bottom. You can actually battle your photographic stuff with other people online. And you can come up with new concepts of whatever. But I'm going to do the ready-mades. So you click on a ready-made. Doesn't matter which one. And it's already there. Okay, you can kind of move this thing around. So let me enlarge this. All right, and leave a comment. Leave a comment. Good job, Bob. Says Rick. Yeah, Bob's a great guy, man. He's Rick, you would love him. He's just a great guy to grab a cigar with and sit by the fire pit in the middle of the woods or on the beach. So ready-mades is cool. So you go down here, see the Imagine? Can you see that? I'm going to hit, well, you can't see it. So I got to keep going over here for you to see this. Ecamm has to work this out. See stroke? Boom, I click on stroke and I can slide this. Look at that. Well, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to go back so you can see it a little bigger. All right, so I can go much wider. Look at that. Whoa. It grabs the vector of each corner and it shoots it out. It's not round, so you got to work with it. You can change the color. You want it to be blue, red, brown, anything you want. But I'm going to go back to shadow. No, actually, I'm going to go to stroke. I'm going to get rid of that and check this out. Shadow. Boom. Look at that. You can add shadows. And it's very soft. I mean, these pixels are just very subtle. Apps have come a long way. And I just click it with my thumb and move it around. All right, so that's the text. I could do the blur radius, where do you want it to go, the Y offset. Click on the Y. Of course, Y is up and down, and X is left to right. We know that, right? So if I want it to be X at 0 and the Y, I want to be right below it, then the light is directly above you, 12 o'clock, shooting down. So minor stuff. You can change the color of the shadow, which that's gross. Why would you do it? It should always be black. Just saying. So that's cool. And then the spacing, blending, this is crazy. I didn't have enough time in Dave Plays with Apps last night to go over this. But so there's that. Now actually look over to the right. Can you guys see that? All right, where it says imagine, that's the word. The next one down is the guy, okay? So I can click on the guy. I can move him around. It's a lot like Photoshop. And the last one is the circle, the background. Pretty cool, huh? Someone leave a comment. Bob Salvas, he's leaving his comment. Okay, if you want to join that, if you want to see me for 5 hours, God love you. God love you, but tune in, and I'm going to really be helping a lot of contractors how to market. But we're on another segment here, all right? So we're not going to lose our stuff here. All right, so there's that. And you can bring in all kinds of things. I mean, I can blow this thing up. I can shrink them down. There's so much I can do. Like if I blow this guy up, right? Say I put him over here. Then I go over to effects, and I do urban, which we were talking about last night. You're putting an effect on just that particular layer. I did not talk about that last night. I talked about the whole photo being an effect. So now you're working with layers. Completely opens up the world. So you're thinking, well, Dave, how do I use this in my photos? Just take a photo and get is it Firefox? PhotoFox. Get PhotoFox, and you will have hours and hours of fun. So now I'm just hitting all these things. Look at this. This is cool. It's like a wood grain. This is pretty amazing. This is cool. Like I call that the Sex Pistols filter. Anarchy in the UK. Yep. Bodies. I'm not a memory. So there we go. Right? That's cool stuff. There's just a lot of things there. So have fun with it. There's that. Glitch is cool. So I can glitch that layer only. How amazing is that? Look at these different glitches. You guys like this? You like this? You like that, don't you? You like that, Roan, don't you? Yeah, you like that, huh? Look at that. I can completely blow up the pixels on that. That's a hexagon pixel. This thing is crazy. Imagine taking a photo of yourself and just going to town on this. These I don't like. I'm not into scan. These are called scan. It's left, right, up, down. These I like. This is VHS. So you pull it to 0. Do you see how I pulled that to 0? And then boom, pull it out of the way. It's really, really, really cool. So, I mean, this is stuff like Bill and Steve Mason and Aaron. I mean, your photographers just digitize one of your photos and play around with this. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of like you don't need a darkroom. Look at that. You can't do that. How long that would take? You'd have to separate. First of all, you'd have to convert your photo to RGB, separate it into different channels. The R channel, the red, the G, the green, and the B is blue. All right, RGB. And then you'd have to offset each one to the left, so many pixels, and down so many pixels. The R goes so many pixels this way and up. It would take you hours to even just experiment, just to see. I wonder how that would look as like a 3D VHS thing. It's not hours, folks. It's seconds. This tells you like, whoa, that looks pretty cool. Let me go to my original photo and do that. It saves you a lot of time. I'm not saying this replaces a professional photographer. I'm not saying that. I'm really not. And Bill says, it'd be cool if you could use the VHS as a GIF. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? But you can. You can, my friend. Check this out. And this is a trick I do a lot. I slide my phone up and I click. Oh, no, I don't click on that. I click on the record button, which is right there. That one that's dark. I'm plugged into the computer so it doesn't record because I'm in this. But if I unplugged this, you would record your screen. You can record your screen. Then you go back to boom, 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 and do that a few times. And then go back and slide up your screen and stop the recording. Of course, you got to edit. You got to edit the beginning out and the end, but you can do it. Unfortunately, that little slider is still in there, so yeah. You have to put your photo in the center so you've got room. I do that all the time. All right, so that's cool, right? We've seen this. There's just so much to do here. What do we get? 10 o'clock. Sketch. Sketch is, it is what it is. That's kind of nice, from 0 to all the way up. Sepia tone, you can do all kinds of things. But anyway, I just, I could spend probably a week. I might even do Photo Fox Part 3. So Roan, you were asking, what app is this? What's the name of the app? It is Photo Fox. Aaron needs this for buildings and expensive homes. Yeah. Does it have a Hitler mustache filter? Yes, it does. It does. That's the sarcastic button. You click that and it gives you everything a Roan Midler would love to have. Everything. Could crop the slider out. Yeah, you can crop the slider out. It's tight. You'd have to use the brush tool to kind of push it down and get it out of the way. But just work smaller within your canvas and you can do crazy things. So anyway, folks, I'm going to go. It's 10:02. Let's go back to the next scene. Bam, here we are, next scene. Move the camera over there. I'm becoming like Bill Parmentier. I'm becoming a really good technical guy here. All right, so we end with a joke. We used to end with a closing quote. But I'm done with that. I'm done with closing quotes. You people don't need to be inspired. And when was the last time you were at a meeting and someone said, "Oh, I've got a quote," and they say the closing quote or the quote, "It is better to fail to da-da-da," and they say it, whatever. And then you walk away completely changed. Completely changed. Think about that. When was the last time? Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Inspirational quotes last 1 minute. I should make a quote. Inspirational quotes last 1 minute. Put it on Pinterest. People will be mad at me. All those women will be mad at me. How dare you say that? I have quotes on my wall. Anyhow, are you guys ready for the closing joke? And it's in honor of... Who is it in honor of? Who do you think it's in honor of? Maybe Edward Lear? Yes, Edward Lear, the inventor of the limerick, or the anapestic trimeter. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, zap-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. All right, this is in honor of Edward Lear. Are you guys ready? Tomorrow night is musical guests. Bob Russo, acoustic instrumentalist. Tune in. It's all music from here on out. And the night after is Arizona heavy metal rockers, the Headsmen. And Friday, some financial planning advice. Tune in, Semi Spahilari. Ready? Here it is. Closing joke. I did not write this. There was a young man from Lahore whose limericks stopped at line 4. When asked why this was, he responded, "Because."